Benjy, welcome on, brother.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for having me.
I mean, thank you. Yeah, uh, a extremely tough day for you all.
Mm.
Just talk me through it.
I mean, there's a lot of thoughts in my head, to be honest. I'm pretty disappointed in myself. Um, I mean, I'm not, obviously I'm not the whole reason we lost, but I have, I don't know, bro, it's kind of hard to speak, but
That's it.
I don't know, we're not playing like ourselves, and I'm not too sure why. Um, and it sucks pretty hard, to be honest. It sucks pretty hard, like having such a good year last year. To go to this, I think it's like a kick in the balls, you know. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think we just need to work harder and do better because none of us want it in the team to be like this. Like none of us want to be this bad.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah, that's all.
That's completely understandable, right? And I think it is fair to see that like how there's been just an unfortunate happenstance where we've seen with some of the games in the past a little bit, and I imagine so, especially after yesterday's, it can be a tough recovery process as well to come back into today, and especially with the pressure of land on the line, right? There is a
Hmm.
lot to process when it comes down to that too. I remember talking to Neil yesterday, uh,
Hmm.
and him mentioning that the team it was uncharacteristic in terms of performance, and you were playing with the wrong kind of ego, were the words that he said, right? Because
Hmm.
you're all very confident players too, right? But Vitality
Hmm.
decided to also shoot back too. I wanted to see if you also had a thought on that, considering because you guys, you were Los Niños, right? You guys probably some of the confident team I've ever seen, but definitely, as you
Hmm.
mentioned, just tough, tough couple days though. Yeah.
Yeah. I think us as a team, we maybe lost our identity a little bit. Like I'm not sure really sure what happened to us at one point. At what point it went bad or whatever. But it just felt really off. It didn't feel like it was flowing like it normally does, or it wasn't easy to play like it normally does. It always felt hard. Um, and when you're not playing good together as a team, it just makes everything hard. And I think it's just a lot of things. I think confidence is just a really big thing in Valorant, and I think we just didn't have it. I didn't have it. Um, Not sure what happened to it, to be honest. We should, in theory, be confident, but we just weren't. And I think that's a pretty big reason as to why we lost. When we weren't our normal selves, and we got punished for it. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's understandable. I remember I was having this conversation with Narrate and Zekin just a couple days ago too, where
Mhm.
they were talking specifically about how it was a off seasons for them were brutal between losing a bunch and then coming back into it. Like they hadn't had time to mentally reset or recover to be themselves at all. And Zekin specifically
Mhm.
was like, dude, I could probably crash out any day. Uh, but I'm not sure if you felt the same, where there wasn't time or space for you to mentally recover going from champs to even getting right in the season, even earlier now this year.
I mean, after champs, we took a longer break than most teams, just because I mean we played I think the most games out of any team last year,
Hmm.
and obviously all of us were like exhausted. We all took a good break, and that meant like starting later practice than other teams, which I don't think is the reason why we lost. I mean, we showed in our first two games that we won that we can play good Valorant, we can play good together, we can shoot. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. I think off season for us was okay. We only did, I think, one or two events, whereas other teams, I think when there's a team that forms like a new team, they want to try to get as much experience together as possible with that roster. So they'll just like play every single off season tournament possible, and try get that experience, and that can affect like the players, like with burnout, like they can just be exhausted when the season hasn't even started. Um, but for us, I think our off season was fine. I mean, it was unfortunate. Like we were ill for most of it as well, which wasn't ideal.
Hmm.
Um, But for us, it wasn't. We had a good break. We had a good break, and I think we needed it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too, right? Especially coming and recovering from the year you guys had to, although some highs, but a lot of lows too. But I think it's naturally understandable that with the break because you guys kept the same core. I
Hmm.
think maybe 1% of teams can say that, right? Going into this year too, everyone's always had some
Three.
change. Exactly,
Yeah.
3 teams can say that, right? And
Mm.
so on that note, too, it's all you guys back together again, two's vibing, dapping each other up, saying what's up, right? So, um, it does. So it's understandable why we actually did to get to here, but
Mhm.
fortunately, where we land here today, actually not the spot you want to be in, right?
Yeah.
Because looking at us right now, though, is like talking to Neil again once yesterday too. He was talking a bit about how the teams are working a lot together too, but I want to dig into you a bit more too, because coming off the years you had, you're also a massive grinder about the game, just your performance in general too. I wanted to kind of understand for you to going into this year too. What was something that you specifically looked at? You were like, "Yo, I need to be better at this aspect," or whatever kind of overlays that in terms of your own individual performances.
Um, I think for me, I know how good I can be when I'm like on form, like when I'm on point. Um, what I was making sure of for this kickoff was that I was in form, that I was, playing at the highest potential I can be. And I think I did that for the first two games. For the last two games, I don't know what happened, man, to be honest. I wasn't nervous, I wasn't under pressure, but I just couldn't play the game. It was really weird. I've never felt like this in my life.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's hard to, think of a reason as to why. I mean, because I have myself, like, I hold myself to really high standards, and to see myself playing like that makes me like just really disappointed in myself. Um, and yeah, I mean, the fact that that was like my goal and I didn't hit it makes me, pretty sad.
Mhm.
But I just know I need to do better for stage one. Like I'm not just gonna give up because I know how good I can be. Like I was playing really good last year, and you know, I'm just gonna work towards that.
But of course, naturally, like you seeing the highs of competition and where you've gone throughout your entire career, it's understandable like how much you hold a standard for yourself, right? Which I think is completely
Yeah.
valid too. But nonetheless, though, for now though, because I don't want to keep digging too hard in the game because it's not who I am really. I mean,
Mhm.
some I had some very off-topic questions that were a bit off kilter.
Okay.
Would you be willing to answer them? You think? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I wanted to talk a bit about your past because you're also been a competitor. Everybody knows about Fortnite, whatever.
Hmm.
Your bowling career, I think, is something that's not talked about enough, and how nice you are. Do you think you're so nice at it because of your bowl cut specifically?
Uh, I'm not great at bowling nowadays. No, I think my prime bowling years were like 8 years old. But I used to be pretty good though. Like I mean, I bowled. I think it was probably when I was like 8 or 9. I bowled a 214, which is pretty good.
Wow.
And I mean, I used to play in tournaments. My first ever tournament that I played in bowling was when I was 3.
Hmm.
I was into it. I was really into it, and I got third in South of England in my division at one point.
Hmm.
So I was okay, but eventually gaming kind of took over my life, and I was like, nah, I don't want to go bowling on the weekend. Like I'm good. But nowadays like I can beat the average player. Like I'm still above average,
Yeah.
which is nice, but I still get slapped around sometimes.
Yeah, it completely happens because especially in VCT, everybody plays ping pong, man. But then you,
Oh
you're
yeah.
special, yeah.
I'm also good at table tennis as well, mate. I'm good
Really?
at table tennis.
Yeah. Do you think you could beat anybody like even Boosty? You think? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how good he is at table tennis, but I think I probably could. Yeah.
Mm.
I respect how good I am at table tennis. I think I could beat him. Yeah.
You know, I think you could too, man.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, you're not too bad at what you do. But and with that, you know what, man? I'll go wrap up here, brother.
Yeah.
I do want to thank you again for your time, and good luck to y'all going to split one. I'll be rooting for y'all and watching y'all, of course.
Amazing.
You
Thank you
too.
very much. Thank you for the interview.
Of course, you take care. Bye bye.